Imagine Earth 5 millennia ago. The year is roughly 3000 BCE. This wasn't a primitive, unchanging world. It was a planet on the cusp of great transformations. The last ice age was long past. The climate had stabilized more or less. Humans were no longer just scattered bands of hunter-gatherers. Agriculture, that revolutionary invention, had taken firm root in several key regions across the globe. This innovation was reshaping societies, landscapes, and indeed the very future of our species. It allowed for settled communities, for populations to grow, for new ideas to blossom. Think about the sheer scale of time. 5,000 years. It sounds immense, and it is. Yet, in the grand cosmic calendar, it's a mere blink. Dinosaurs had vanished 60 million years before this. The Earth itself was already over 4 billion years old. So, these humans of 3000 BCE were relatively recent actors on a very ancient stage. They were building the first cities, they were inventing writing, they were gazing at the same stars we see, perhaps asking similar questions about their place beneath the vast, indifferent cosmos. This period is often called the Early Bronze Age. Why bronze? Because humans had figured out how to smelt copper and tin. They mixed these metals to create a stronger, more durable alloy bronze. This new material revolutionized tools, weapons, and art. But beneath these headline inventions, a more fundamental human activity persisted: the daily quest for food. Food. It's more than just sustenance. For ancient peoples, 5,000 years ago, diet was a cornerstone of life itself. It was the fuel that powered every human endeavor. Imagine trying to build a pyramid or a ziggurat on an empty stomach. Impossible. The energy to raise massive stones, to till fields, to craft tools, all came from the calories consumed. The type and quantity of food available directly influenced population size. More food meant more people. It meant communities could grow from small villages into bustling towns and eventually into the first cities the world had ever seen. The quest for reliable food sources was a powerful driver of innovation. Think about agriculture. It wasn't just about planting seeds. It involved understanding seasons, soil, and water. It required developing tools for plowing, sowing, and harvesting. This intimate knowledge of the environment was crucial. Diet also shaped social structures. Who controlled the food supply often controlled the power. Granaries holding precious stores of grain were symbols of wealth and authority. Feasts and famines could make or break rulers. The distribution of food, or lack thereof, could lead to social stratification, cooperation, or conflict. Beyond mere survival, food held deep cultural and religious significance. Certain foods might be sacred, offered to gods or spirits. Others might be forbidden. Feasting was a common element of celebrations, rituals, and social bonding. Travel across the globe in 3000 BCE, and you'd find a fascinating diversity of diets, each unique to its region. Each diet was tailored to the local environment, a testament to human adaptability and ingenuity. In Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, life flourished with the help of these mighty waterways. Here, the Sumerians and Akkadians cultivated vast fields of barley and wheat. These grains were staples in their diet. They were ground into flour for bread, a cornerstone of every meal, providing essential sustenance. And, famously, they were fermented into beer, a beverage that was both nutritious and enjoyed by many. Beer wasn't just a beverage, it was a nutritious, calorie-rich part of the daily intake for people of all ages, from children to the elderly. Dates, figs and pomegranates added sweetness to their meals, while lentils and chickpeas provided essential protein, making their diet well-rounded and nutritious. Journey west to ancient Egypt, cradled by the life-giving Nile, and you'll find another rich agricultural society. The river's annual floods deposited fertile silt, creating an agricultural paradise that supported a thriving civilization. Like their Mesopotamian counterparts, Egyptians relied heavily on wheat and barley for their daily sustenance. Bread and beer were central here too, forming the backbone of their diet. The Nile also teemed with fish, a vital source of protein that was readily available. Waterfowl, snared in the marshes, added variety and richness to their diet. Vegetables like onions, garlic, leeks and cucumbers grew abundantly, adding essential nutrients and flavors. Wealthier Egyptians might also enjoy beef, mutton or goat, though these were less common for the general populace, reserved for special occasions. Honey was the primary sweetener, a precious commodity that added a touch of luxury to their meals. Further east, in the Indus Valley civilization, thriving in what is now Pakistan and northwest India, a different agricultural system supported large urban centers like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. They cultivated wheat, barley, peas, sesame seeds, and dates, creating a diverse and balanced diet. Evidence suggests they were among the first to domesticate cotton for textiles, showcasing their advanced agricultural practices. Their diet included beef, pork, mutton, and poultry, providing a rich variety of protein sources. Section 4. Fires, Clay and Cleverness. Ancient Food Craft. Cooking, 5,000 years ago, was an art born of necessity and ingenuity. The ancient people had to be resourceful, using whatever materials they had at hand to create meals that were not only edible but also nutritious. Without modern stoves or microwaves, how did ancient people transform raw ingredients into edible meals? They relied on the natural elements around them and their own creativity. The hearth, an open fire, was the heart of the ancient kitchen. It was a place where families gathered not just to cook but to share stories and bond. Food could be roasted directly over flames or on hot stones. This method imparted a unique flavor to the food, something that modern cooking methods often lack. Clay ovens, known as tanners in the Middle East, were used for baking flatbreads, a technology still in use today. These ovens were ingeniously designed to retain heat, making them highly efficient. These simple ovens, often beehive-shaped, could reach high temperatures, producing perfectly baked bread from the staple grains of wheat and barley. The bread was a crucial part of the diet, providing essential nutrients. Pottery played a crucial role. It was not just for storage, but also for cooking, allowing for a variety of culinary techniques. Clay pots of various shapes and sizes allowed for boiling and stewing. These methods were essential for making hearty, nutritious meals. Imagine a bubbling stew of lentils, vegetables, and perhaps some meat, simmering over a low fire. This slow cooking method helped to blend flavors and make the food more digestible. This method was efficient for tenderizing tougher cuts of meat and extracting maximum nutrition from ingredients. It was a way to make the most out of what was available. Grinding stones or querns were essential for processing grains into flour. This flour was then used to make bread, porridge, and other staple foods. This was often a laborious, time-consuming task, typically performed by women. It required strength and endurance and was a daily chore in many households. The sound of grinding stones would have been a familiar daily rhythm in ancient settlements, a constant reminder of the effort required to put food on the table. It was a communal activity, often done in groups. Preserving food was just as vital as cooking it, especially without refrigeration. They had to ensure that their food supply could last through harsh seasons. How did they stop their precious food from spoiling? They used a variety of methods, each suited to the type of food and the climate. Drying was a common method. It was simple yet effective and could be done with minimal resources. Fruits, vegetables, grains, meat and fish could be laid out in the sun or a warm, airy place. This method not only preserved the food but also concentrated its flavors, making it even more delicious. Section 5, the ancient roots of our modern menu. Look at your dinner plate tonight. The food you see is not just a random assortment of ingredients, but a culmination of thousands of years of culinary evolution. Chances are you'll find echoes of these ancient diets. The grains, the vegetables, even the methods of preparation have roots that stretch back to the dawn of agriculture. The grains we rely on, wheat, rice, barley, were domesticated thousands of years ago. These staple crops were the foundation of early human settlements and have been cultivated and refined over millennia. They formed the bedrock of those early civilizations, and they continue to feed billions of us today. The techniques and knowledge passed down through generations have ensured their place in our modern diet. The humble lentil, the versatile chickpea, the sweet date, these are not newfangled superfoods. They have been staples in diets across various cultures for thousands of years, providing essential nutrients and sustenance. They are ancient companions, nourishing humanity for millennia. The methods of cooking and preserving these foods have been honed and perfected over countless generations. Our modern cuisines, with their regional specialties, often trace their lineage back to the agricultural practices and local ingredients favored by these distant ancestors. The flavors and techniques we cherish today are deeply rooted in this ancient heritage. The techniques they developed for food preparation and preservation also cast long shadows. From baking to fermenting, these methods have stood the test of time. We still bake bread, though our ovens are more sophisticated. The basic principles remain unchanged, a testament to the ingenuity of our ancestors. We still ferment grains and fruits to create beverages like beer and wine, a practice well established 5,000 years ago. This ancient art continues to be a significant part of our culinary traditions. The principles of drying, salting and smoking foods, while perhaps less common in our everyday kitchens, remain valid preservation methods, especially for artisanal products. These techniques have been crucial for survival and enjoyment throughout history. Even the concept of a stew, a hearty mix of ingredients simmered together, is a culinary tradition with deep ancient roots born from the utility of the clay pot and the open fire. This method of cooking has provided warmth and nourishment for countless generations. Understanding ancient diets does more than satisfy historical curiosity. It connects us to our past and helps us appreciate the journey of human culinary evolution. It can offer insights into human nutrition and adaptation. By studying what our ancestors ate, we can learn about the nutritional needs that shaped our development. The so-called paleo diet fad, for instance, attempts to mimic a Stone Age way of eating, though often with a modern, romanticized lens. It highlights the enduring influence of ancient dietary practices on contemporary health trends. While the specifics are debated, studying the foods that sustained our ancestors for vast stretches of time can inform contemporary discussions about healthy eating. It encourages us to consider the benefits of whole, unprocessed foods. It reminds us that our bodies evolved consuming certain types of foods long before the advent of highly processed modern diets. This evolutionary perspective can guide us in making healthier food choices today. The challenges of food security and sustainable agriculture we face today also resonate with the struggles of ancient societies. Their solutions and innovations can inspire modern approaches to these enduring issues. So, the next time you enjoy a slice of bread, or a bowl of rice, or even a glass of beer, take a moment. Reflect on the rich history behind these foods and the countless generations that have contributed to the meal before you.